everyone, Professor here, and welcome back to my garage. Today I have a review, and it's a review of this. Well, not my wallet. I got my wallet forever ago, and I don't know what brand it is, otherwise I would do a review on it. But if you really want to see a review on my wallet, go ahead and leave a comment. But this is what I want to do a review on today. This is the Ian Sinclair Card Sharp. It is a credit card sized folding card knife. I got this quite a while ago, not nearly as long ago as my wallet. I forget when I got it. I forgot where I got it too. But they're all over the place now. I think there's a bunch of different brands nowadays. But this is a fantastic little knife. It hasn't saved my life yet, but it did help me out when my car was being a little bit of a pill. And I'll get to that story in a minute, because that is definitely crucial to the story. But let's go ahead and get over the use first. It is, like I said, credit card sized. I think it's even about the thickness of a credit card. And it has a couple grooves. I think I got a good angle a couple times. Yep, right there's a good angle. Yeah, on these two grooves. And folds or creases or whatever you want to call them. Has a little safety lock right here. Green means you can't open it. I don't have the best lighting in here yet. So what you'll do is, it's a little circle and it has a notch. You just turn it around, and when there's no green, it's lined up with the blade. Ooh, that's a nice, good shot. And you can flip it out. So that'll be the first part. You unlock it and you flip the blade out. And then you have a smaller panel and a larger panel. You want to go ahead and put the smaller panel over first, fold it over, and then the larger panel. And then they have pegs along this line. There's even a peg that goes into the blade itself. It doesn't always go in. I don't really worry about that peg. And if you unfold it a little bit, you can see the hole in the blade itself. And according to a video by Scholagrim, these are actually illegal in Canada, and I live just south of Canada. So check your local laws for legalities before you order one online or anything. Of course, I've looked at online ordering for knives and stuff in the past, even trees, and sometimes they'll tell you in advance if you cannot buy them, like they'll cannot ship to, like I was somewhere I saw trees and it said cannot ship to California. But oh well. And California knife flaws are not fun. Utah, they're pretty good. And then up here in Montana, pretty easy laws also. It is pretty cold out here. It's 25 degrees here in the garage. That's Fahrenheit. That's -5 Celsius. Cool. And I like it. But this little knife is fantastic. It fits in my wallet, as you saw. It really is very out of space, out of the way. If you are going to like courthouses or places with metal detectors, take it out of your wallet, leave it in your car. But like I was saying, courthouses, anywhere with metal detector, airplanes, take it out of your wallet. Leave it at home, especially if you're going to go on a plane. Leave it at home. I went to a courthouse And right before I went to through the metal detector, I was like, okay, I have two things I have two knives in my pocket. Well, the second one's a knife, but I'm going to do a review on that another day. But so I was like, oh, and I talked to the security gentleman, and I was like, I have these two things in my wallet, and they're like, go ahead and step out and put them in the bushes, and they pulled out a stack of cards of both of the types I had that people had tried to take through. They've gone through the metal detector, and so most likely once you go through that metal detector, they're going to have to confiscate it. But yeah, I just did what they asked, stepped outside the door because my car was essentially a block away, and put it, in the bushes where they said, just off the side, kind of hidden, and went through and came out and got my stuff and left. But remember, you have this. Take it out for airplane rides because that will be taken. I follow the TSA on Instagram, and I think they might have mentioned these a couple times. And also, it's a knife. Don't try and take it on the airplane. It's going to get taken away. Maybe even end up on their website or their Instagram or something. But this thing is fantastic. I did landscaping for 1.5 years, and one day we were laying down, I forget what it's called, it's like weed cloth or something, but it's a thick paper-like, cloth-like thing. You roll it out, and then it helps prevent weeds coming up through. And I don't know, my boss wasn't thinking or something, but he didn't provide me with any cutting implement, and I don't think my shears were sharp enough, and I didn't want to use them for that anyways. And I was like, oh yeah, I have this. And so I pulled it out, and I was able to use it to cut it to the length and cut places for the plants, and it did a pretty good job. I was surprised. The handle on here is surprisingly sturdy. I'm not pushing too hard, but I'm holding the spine of the blade and pushing, and it's pretty sturdy. There's not any kind of guard to protect from anything going like this or protect your hand from sliding up onto the blade. But for just cutting, it's surprisingly sturdy. And so there's been a number of other times where I've, needed open boxes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a knife. And you just cut it, open it up and cut it. And then to the story where this helped me with my car. It was less than, maybe, it was right around 1 year ago, maybe less. Actually, I think it was less than 1 year ago. But I was traveling home from a nearby town. It was roughly an hour drive. And I'd just gotten on the freeway, and I heard a sound from my car. And this is my car that I hit a rabbit going 80 miles an hour and cracked the plastic fender. And that's ended up probably where it is, what led up to this. But this is the second or third time I've heard this sound. So I knew what it was by this time. I think I might have mentioned the same situation in my review of the Smith & Wesson Border Guard knife. But on the wheel wells of my car, actually right out there, excuse me, the plastic came loose and it was rubbing against the tire, and it was just going and so I recognized that, and I was like, I don't have my Border Guard with me. I do like to take it on like road trips and long things, but I didn't have it because that trip is now a fairly regular occurrence between these two cities. Well, town and city. But, and then I was like, oh yeah, I have my card knife. I don't think it will be able to cut through the plastic. It cut through the plastic. And so I was able to get home without the annoyance. And here is some of that same plastic from my car. I'm not going to get my border guard and show you that it can cut it too. Because if this knife can cut through this, the border guard can definitely cut through this. But, I don't know, it's 1/8 of an inch, or probably less than 1/8 of an inch thick. But it's easier when there's a bigger piece of plastic. But in an emergency, there we go, it can cut it. And also the angle that that plastic was hanging off on my car, it was really easy to cut through it. And like I said, I was really surprised that the handle was able to support that cutting. And another sharpness test for you, the classic one, the piece of paper. And that is after cutting that plastic. It's a little rough. There's a nice clean cut. But, okay, my hands are black from the plastic, that's right. My favorite sharpness test, there's cutting the paper, there's the back of your nail. Let's see if we can get a good view of that. Decent enough. Can shave a little bit off. But my favorite is actually one that I saw on a YouTube video years and years ago. I long ago forgot the name of the YouTube channel. They might not even be around now. But it was, I think the title of the video was the 3-finger test. Something like that. But I love the test. Since I saw that video, I started using it, started trying it. It really works. But what you do is you take your 3 fingers and you gently put them on the blade, and then you slightly begin to move your fingers along the blade. And you can tell the sharpness of it pretty well. Like, if I got my straight razors from Shave Up channel, or any of the disposable safety razor blades or anything like that, and did that, like, you would begin to move your fingers, but then your brain's like, oh no, that's way too sharp. And so it's really cool. But I really like the 3-finger test. I'm going to go back in and sharpen this up, just a quick refresher sharpening, because I just cut through the plastic. But even with cutting through the plastic, it is still good for most any situation that I do pull it out for. I think that I got this for like $1.50, or I got it for free with something else. But nowadays I've seen them on like Wish for like a pack of 5 for like $1 or something like that. They're very good for stocking stuffers. Just presents, just anyone who likes having a knife, I would say, would probably like this, because it is so, it's super light. I'm not going to weigh it. I might weigh it, because I have a scale that might be able to weigh it. But if I do weigh it, I'll put it in the description, the weight. Again, saved me for in situations a number of times. I might have used this more than once on my landscaping job. But it's got a little bit of notches here, or jimping or knurling, whatever you want to call it, for your thumb. I don't really notice it when I'm using it. I haven't tried whittling or anything with it. It's mainly just been the in case I need it in ICE, in case of emergency, anything like that kind of knife. It's not my go-to. I prefer, oh man, I have a bunch of knives. I think I probably have 10 or more knives. But this is on me most of the time. And then to put it back, it's really simple. You just pull on the tab and unfold it, fold the blade back down into its little groove, and then turn the notch back so it'll cover the blade. There's a nice shot of that. And the blade is completely underneath, inside the gap, and so you're not going to get cut, and it'll probably be very hard for things to get in there and get cut. And then putting this right back where it belongs. Right in there. Back in the wallet. Back in the pocket. But yeah, this is mainly on the Ian Sinclair card knife. There's a IanSinclair.com, at least the time the knife was made, that was. Things change so rapidly nowadays. But I'd say that this review would go for most of the credit card folding knives out there that look like that. Just because nowadays things are so similar from brand to brand to brand, especially for an item like that. I feel that this review would go for any of those knives. If you do happen to find one that is just a terrible brand, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let people know. And again, take this would be kind of like a grain of salt advice. I had a situation with these knives. They didn't work for me, kind of thing. Because they might work for other people. But I'm going to go ahead and end this now. The cold's starting to get to me. But thanks for watching. This has been the Professor's Garage, in my garage again, and I want you to have a fantastic day. And enjoy your knives, use them safely, use them responsibly, and have a great day.